Nikocado Avocado is a genius.
But I'm actually very, very smart.
And in this video, I'm going to tell you why. If you don't know who he is, he's basically this overweight dude with an idiotic persona who got huge on YouTube, no pun intended, by doing mukbang videos where he would literally just eat stupid quantities of food.
His whole channel is him eating a ridiculous amount of food.
Obviously, it doesn't take all that much investigation to find out that his journey is in fact a train wreck. However, after getting somewhat invested in his story, I think I've come to my own conclusion that this man's absolute train wreck of a life is one of the most legendary stories to ever come out of YouTube. And while he plays the persona of being an idiot, I think that a lot of his success has come from extremely intelligent strategies that are very rarely seen by other creators. Strategies that I'd like to expand upon in this video, so let's begin. Is Nikocado Avocado a total moron? Yes, obviously, look at him. But then let me ask you another question. Does being a total moron mean that you can't also be a total legend? Absolutely not. In fact, it seems that the sad reality of life is that it's almost uncool to be a winner, to be successful, to be at the top of your field in any kind of domain, while on the contrary it's become a status symbol to brag about how bad you are in certain domains. We all know that one 60-year-old who's like so proud of the fact that they can't use any kind of technology. Yeah, you just have to show me how to open up the Internet Explorer because I don't have the time to learn despite the fact that I'm retired and I just spend 80% of my life sitting on my ass at home. There have become many who remain completely inept at daily life skills for the sole purpose of retaining some kind of abstract significance. Sure, if you're at the top of a field, you might get rewarded with money and other forms of compensation, but what I'm trying to cement here is that success does not equal legendary status in any way. No, in fact, in Australia at least, it's almost the total opposite. The fat guy who spends every afternoon at the pub sinking tinnies is the total legend. And what is Nikocado Avocado if not the YouTube equivalent of the fat dude at the pub who's doing nothing but sinking beers? Now this whole concept is totally arbitrary, and being that fat overweight dude on YouTube doesn't automatically guarantee legendary status. In fact, when I think of other YouTubers who are famous for their weight, such as Wings of Redemption and Boogie2988, it seems to be that they're some of the most hated individuals on the platform. It also seems to be a similar kind of story for those fat acceptance advocates. They're all hated by society. So you might ask, what does Wings of Redemption, Boogie2988, and those fat acceptance advocates have that makes them hated rather than loved? It's not their weight itself, but rather their inability to laugh at their own weight and situation. An element that Nikocado Avocado has actually perfected.
I'm getting a hunchback! I look like Shrek!
As shown in many other various Nikocado Avocado documentaries, Nikocado Avocado actually used to be quite skinny, but as a result of all the eating on his channel, he gained an insane amount of weight. Now obviously this is not a good thing from a health perspective, but it ironically gives him the opportunity to show himself as quite a confident guy, specifically during an interview with Keemstar earlier in the year.
You have gained so much weight recently.
In September 2020, Keemstar uploaded a video titled Nikocado Avocado Too Fat, which was literally just a 10-minute meme of Nikocado Avocado just laughing at his own weight.
And I can't lose weight. I don't know why. I just don't.
Now, Nick, do you throw that up after the episode?
Does it look like it? When I go on the treadmill, my muscles get stressed and they release all this liquid. That's just what it is. And for some reason, I'm still overweight. So I'm pretty sure it's just water.
Nick, you uploaded this video where you were celebrating your 2 pounds
water.
lost of weight. And you celebrated it by eating 18 Subway subs. Okay, you're not gonna lose weight that way, Nick.
And that final clip where Keemstar confronts Nick about his video titled Celebrating My 2-Pound Weight Loss really just displays his sense of humor when it comes to his own unfortunate circumstances.
I'm thinking about doing a collab with my doctor.
The whole thing is clearly a joke. I mean, come on, in the 2-pound weight loss video, Nick eats 8-foot-long Subway subs as a response to losing 2 pounds.
You have to lose another pound! I've lost 2, thank you very much.
But here's where the genius comes in. Rather than feeling like a victim to his own weight like Boogie2988 or Wings of Redemption,
playing the victim all the time. I am a victim.
Nick has actually just owned the fact that he's super fat and adapted his weight as a part of his brand.
I bathe twice a day sometimes, and I still smell like cheese.
We broke up because I'm too fat, weighing myself and eating black bean noodles. I'm gaining so much weight and now my clothes don't fit. The adaptation of Nick's weight into his branding is actually such a genius strategy. Why? Well, mainly because Nick runs a mukbang channel. It's literally a channel where all you do is eat ridiculous amounts of food. So steadily gaining weight over a 4-year period almost gives it a feeling of character development. And as the weight stacks on over time, it just gives him more and more opportunities for clickbait, as well as another element worth discussing: people making videos on him.
One mukbanger who has often found himself at the center of criticism is Nikocado Avocado.
Now, I'll preface this part by saying that I don't think Nikocado Avocado's reputation really matters at all. As long as he doesn't do anything to wipe himself out of the game altogether, such as, dying, he can have the worst reputation on the planet and people will still watch. Why? Because people are literally just watching him for his negative reputation. So when other people make videos exposing him or documenting how fat he's become, which we might add has been done extremely extensively, this is not a negative but rather a positive, as all it does is adds to the exposure that Nikocado receives. Alternatively put, the only reason that people watch his channel anyway is just to laugh at him. The negative exposure does nothing except increases the channel to his traffic without actually damaging his reputation any further, because it's already as damaged as it can possibly be. And as previously mentioned, it's not like there's been any shortage of creators giving him negative exposure through various avenues of content. TRO's documentary on him gaining 4.5 million views, Christopher Tom's with 800,000 views, some ordinary gamers also gaining 800,000 views. People are invested in his story because they want to see the train wreck. Therefore, people making videos about his train wreck life are not a negative but instead a positive. And ironically, all the negative videos actually make his life worth following, as well as provide an element of likability. His whole channel is set up for people to laugh at him and for him to be the whipping boy of YouTube. And everyone loves that person. We love the dude who we can just rip on and they literally don't care. We love them way more than the dude who gets butthurt about every single little joke you make about them, like Wings or Boogie. We have respect for voluntary whipping boys because they're rare. It's a seriously uncommon person who can laugh at themselves and their own flaws. And it's an even rarer person to set up their entire life around being that whipping boy, which is why Nikocado Avocado gets my respect in that aspect. Now, another thing that I see a lot of people talking about is how unhealthy the relationship between Nikocado Avocado and his boyfriend is.
Stop!
Or an empty container.
Ouch! Ouch! You're fat. Stop being rude.
Now, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I'm gonna guess that this apparently awful relationship is just another smart ploy to ensure a returning audience. We have to take this theory and implement the points that were previously discussed. That Nikocado Avocado's strategy is literally just to gain as much attention as humanly possible, where negative attention usually ends up being more of a positive than actual positive attention. And for this reason, there's actually an incentive for Nikocado to make his relationship look like a train wreck on the internet. The attention, all the people commenting about how they need to fix things, people constantly checking in to see what's happening with the drama, the fact that Nikocado can use their breakup for clickbait. Everything to do with their apparent toxic relationship adds to the traffic received on Nikocado's channel. For this reason, I'm going to take the unpopular opinion and say that I don't think they have any out of the ordinary problems in their relationship. I'd say that the entire thing is an act. Why? You can just tell from the body language, humor, and the way that they talk to each other. Now, I'm probably getting out of my domain here talking about relationships because, look at me, I'm practically a Reddit mod for the incel subreddit. But I don't think a genuinely toxic relationship has this much communication and humor towards each other. Toxic relationships seem to be where neither party talks to each other, there's no communication, and the general vibe is that they constantly have their hands around each other's throats. I don't think a relationship is all that toxic if you can constantly joke about dumping each other because you're too fat.
Orthan left me for being too fat. I am too fat for Orthan.
If anything, the fact that they can constantly joke about each other's weight on camera without either getting genuinely offended shows strength in their relationship, not toxicity. My personal favorite example of their fake toxic relationship was in November 2019, when they uploaded a video titled "We're Breaking Up for Good," with them crying in the thumbnail and video.
And you keep saying divorce, and maybe we should just divorce. You
keep saying it over and over. Then 2 hours later making a new mukbang video while literally wearing the same clothes as in their breakup video.
But literally, we just got done filming a video 2 hours ago and we were screaming and crying and I edited out all of it and I just left the crying part because I don't even know what to do.
Now guys, you couldn't even go to the effort of changing your clothes for recording the second video? 2 hours after having an emotional breakup. You're not only on good terms again, but also filming another video together. Clearly their relationship isn't exactly on the rocks. But this whole aspect is just another element of Nikocado Avocado's genius. He knows people are gonna call him out for it. He knows that people will comment on it and boost the engagement. He knows exactly what will get a response and continues to churn it out over and over and over. Then while not related to intelligent strategy, I think it's also important to discuss Nikocado's work ethic and resilience, mainly relating to the drama between him and Stephanie Sue in late 2019. Stephanie Sue uploaded her Why I'm Scared of Nikocado Avocado in December 2019, where she basically went over how Nikocado Avocado made her feel uncomfortable once, gaining over 10 million views and putting Nick in seriously hot water. Now the impressive part about the drama to me was that Nick literally just didn't even slow down on uploading despite everything that went down. After uploading a response on the 31st of December, Nick uploaded videos on the 2nd, 4th, 6th and 8th of January as if nothing ever happened. Now I guess simply uploading videos isn't all that much to brag about, but doing it while having more than 10 million people despising him with dislike ratios of 90% on each video, all during the Christmas period and New Year's period is pretty impressive. That kind of drama would have taken 95% of other creators out for good. And meanwhile Nick was just pumping out 4 videos a week as if nothing ever happened. So I guess it's a pretty weak point, but I get the vibe that Nick has a pretty strong work ethic, which I have to say that I do have respect for. So to conclude, despite half of Nikocado Avocado's act being to basically seem as stupid as humanly possible,
I'm actually a very knowledgeable person, if you haven't already been able to tell. But I'm actually very, very smart.
I think Nikocado Avocado is far from stupid, and I guess, depending on how you measure it, shall we say, I think he's a pretty smart dude. Now he's certainly not a genius in health and fitness, but for marketing and branding and YouTubing, he certainly knows what he's doing. He's tricked an entire audience into thinking that he's this miserable, sad dude with like an absolute train wreck of a life. But I would say that behind closed doors, he's probably a fairly content dude. He obviously thinks very highly of himself and is comfortable in his own skin. And my question to you might be, is there really any difference between thinking highly of yourself and being happy? To me, when I think of people like Wings of Redemption and Boogie2988, it seems like all their unhappiness is derived from the fact that they don't think highly of themselves. And to me, that's one thing that Nikocado Avocado has over the other overweight punching bags of YouTube. Perhaps Nikocado Avocado, in a strange kind of way, is the polar opposite of Dan Bilzerian, making his life look way worse than it really is in order to drive traffic to his site. And it seems to work for him. Just look at his statistics. He gains over 30 million views per month across his 5 channels. Throw in his OnlyFans, Patreon, cameos and other business elements and he's probably making more than $2 million per year. He clearly knows what he's doing. He clearly has his head switched on. I guess that's the end of the video. Alright, so yeah, like the video and subscribe, alright? Subscribe.